Voices Carry rules. That's a cool song. I love that song.
What song?
Voices Carry.
Jake.
How's it go?
You're a dick.
What?
What? Voices Carry.
Welcome to PAX 2018 Day 2.
I gotta go.
I'm Brian Miller. It's Matt Amberg, the singer.
We're fine.
You may also know Ian from yesterday. You may also know Sean.
It's like pointing to me and then points to him.
You may know Ian from yesterday and Sean from other
Save
days.
the best for last,
today.
because Sean is new, and also if you did listen to, what, you weren't here yesterday.
Yeah, no, I got it.
I'm new.
I understand.
This is going well.
Ryan, I think you're doing great. I stand by it.
Keep it up. Let's go with it.
This is Chapel Chat. Right?
Because
Sky Church.
if you listen to last week's episode, it ended with a brand new song. I did what I always do. I check the 0 hit points folder, and I don't talk to Sean about it.
Yeah.
And then I put the song at the end of the show, and I just had to show everybody. I was like, whoa, check out this song. And I played it for everybody, and they said, yeah. And then we put that at the end of the show.
I didn't listen to the last week.
Sean.
Wow.
It's not last week's, it was last night.
Bring
So,
it again.
so you're,
Wait, you're saying you didn't listen to last night's podcast?
you know, you had-
What, were you busy?
You know, here's
I told you he was new.
here's my number one issue right now. You were fine if you had just said, I didn't hear that. But no, you're like, I didn't listen to last week's either. The door isn't that away.
How many weeks behind
Yeah,
are
let's
you?
get an answer here, jerk.
Jeez.
Welcome back to the show.
You hire a guy to work for your
Hi,
website.
Sean.
So great to
It's
be here.
This is what it's going to be. It's not going to go
zero
well.
money for 4 years.
That was
And-
nice branding.
You like that?
On brand, Ryan. Super on brand.
Sweatbands.
I made this theme music and all I got was
On
that.
sweat brand.
And
Sweat brand.
this is the thanks you get. So it is.
Thanks you
It's PAX Day 2.
Put in.
We did plenty of things. We looked at some games, went on the floor again. Ian went to the floor today.
I did.
So he's going to bring it.
Dude,
Oof.
bring your floors. Floor it.
Even
Floor
more than he
me.
brought it yesterday.
Floor
Which,
me.
I mean, was
with
a
what you
minimal effort.
We are live. We are in the chat. So if you got things to say them to us there. And
Yeah.
we'll say things back to you.
I gotta grab my notes because I have notes from today. I played
Ooh.
things that you didn't play.
Oh.
Look at
That
me rhyming.
rhymed.
I'm a rhymer.
Couldn't you have done that before?
No.
I could have, but I forgot to. But then I was doing other things.
Sean, we were singing Voices Carry. What's
That's
more
true.
important?
Lay
notes
off.
or Voices
No,
Carry?
Voices Carry.
I had notes yesterday, so he felt kind of...
He was hitting notes in a different way.
Yeah. I was.
All right. So do we start with said notes, or are there any? Is there any housekeeping you want to do? Sean, how have you been?
Yeah, what are you
Good.
doing?
Good. Yeah.
You good?
Yeah, I'm
I
good.
good?
Good.
Tell us about that new song we heard yesterday. What's the story behind that?
All
I
of it.
don't know which one you used, so I can't talk about it right now.
Uploaded
And,
February 20 or February
There's,
2nd.
this
like
is gonna
2
go
years
well.
ago.
He's gonna remember
2018.
this.
The
Yeah.
date.
I
Like
can tell you.
That's
2000
the name of the song, right?
No, I can't tell you what it's called.
It's
I'm
probably
sorry.
named. Okay, well, it's got.
Wait, no, I can't. I can't.
Tell us. Okay, let's just hear more about you.
How about we just back it up?
Hey, remember
and,
when you all made fun of Matt for not having notes?
What a time it was.
Womp womp.
What a great
I
day.
played a show earlier this year. Yes, I did, and I played it at some station in Seattle, and
That's
it was
awesome.
a lot of fun. So I got to demo a new live setup I have. It's this apparatus that I'll be recording on out of my basement studio, which you can all check out on my YouTube channel. But yeah, so just been kind of working on more live stuff and trying to write more music while doing family stuff and working. But it's going pretty well.
Does your YouTube channel have the word slip-tied in it somewhere?
It does.
What? Do the pimp here. Get. Where do people find your music?
Just search for Sliptide in any of your major streaming services.
Okay.
Be lazy and search for
YouTube.
Sliptide.
Well, so I don't have the direct link on YouTube because some other asshole has Sliptide for YouTube, and they snaked it from me. I don't know.
Maybe you should.
Wow.
6-7 years ago.
Maybe you should change your name to Sliptide for YouTube.
Wow.
So right now it's Sean Armstrong Music.
Probably called
Sean
forever.
Armstrong Music.
Wow. Doxing
But
yourself
you'll find it
right on
if.
YouTube.
What? It doesn't matter. My name is what?
You could
You're
also
gonna get so many Russian videos.
you can also find
I already do.
excellent clips and other songs on SoundCloud.com/Sliptide.
Yes, thank you.
I frequently use it when I stream.
The name of the song was Cautious
Hi, Beta
Explorations.
Bliss.
Oh yeah, that one's cool.
How you doing, Beta Bliss?
Yeah, that one's great. Actually, I started writing a series of video game influenced music.
She's in the chat.
That was what?
Beta Bliss is in the chat.
Yay!
Hey.
Yeah, it's based off of playing Metroid, actually. The idea of like my favorite parts of playing Super Metroid back in the day, and was exploring, and like when it was brand new, and I could only make it so far because I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Yeah,
you know,
that's rad.
Metroid.
Yeah, so
I love
that
that.
kind of stuff.
I love
I'm
when
trying
you-
to get into more kind of like takes on music based on games and experiences I've had. So
I love
it's
when
kind
you-
of the project I'm working
I
on.
love when you
Nice.
actually have background and it's not just this is not a bad thing, but I do like it when you've got some weird background story and it wasn't just, oh yeah, I was sitting down and I plotted this out and it just happened.
No, actually, most of my music has legitimate cause behind it. It's not just like me sitting down and messing around all the time. You know, the messing around
That
stuff
sounds-
is mostly just...
See, this is what real artists do, Matt. This is what...
Okay.
There's something
I'm a real
behind
artist.
what
I'm a
they
real
do
artist.
in front of the camera. Yeah.
Okay.
Like the city of Seattle.
Explain me. Explain me.
Explain me.
Explain.
I gotta go.
How much time you got?
You're a Beardman.
Well, thank you for
I mean,
asking.
that's my actual full name,
Anytime.
Matthew Beardman.
And I probably do this every time, but I love the Beta Bliss says dork. Not sure at who.
Oh, definitely me.
Okay.
100% me.
That was, maybe that was explaining.
Yeah, no, I
Okay.
said explain me,
We
and she
just-
said, oh, dork.
We explained Matthew.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
I probably do this every time, but I love
Do
the
you?
name, the sub name you gave to your music that you do for well, I use it for 0 hit points, but the what's the name?
Oh, yeah, so the project is Karma Jolt,
Karma Jolt.
which is still something that's in flight, and I've got more material for that I hope to kind of start rolling out over the next year.
Such a great
Yes,
name.
yeah.
It's a great
And that's
name.
just all your kind of video game inspired.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Because I really try to keep games as part of my life, which is kind of why I'm here today.
Hey.
Thanks.
All right. We try to do the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sean.
We do
Because
it.
we're aging.
We do it by going to PAX and only kind of playing like 3 games because we're so old we can only stand in line for that long.
Hey, I've got more than 3 games to talk about here,
With what kind of notes?
according to phone. Jeez.
My phone died.
We woke up bright and early again.
No.
I talked to the PlayStation people yesterday, and they told me I would have to. In fact, a lot of places are doing this. Ubisoft, all of their demos are by appointment this year.
Oh yeah.
A number of places, yeah.
We tried to play the For Honor thing,
Yeah.
and we just got this weird explanation of how you have to sign up for a tournament thing, and
No.
then you check in.
No.
And Patrick and I literally went, okay, and then walked away
Yeah, no, are you kidding me? I'm not.
because I don't
Why are you-
understand that.
Why are you gatekeeping even more?
Yeah.
Like, you're already literally gatekeeping with your damn line. Now you're gatekeeping by having a line, and you have to make appointments to get into the line.
Yeah.
Well, with Ubisoft, I talked to the girl, and I was like, "Where's the this for that?" And the other guy, I forget. Maybe I was asking about. I don't remember what game I was asking about. It's Ubisoft. And she's like, "Oh, we're doing it's by appointment, all this." And I was like, "Oh, that's kind of cool. Who manages the line, stuff like that?" She's like, "Yeah. So which one?" And I'm like, "Oh," and I just turned around and walked away. So
Yeah.
Now I'm curious
It
what the odd
seems
change
like it
was.
could. I like the idea that somebody's trying to manage the lines at PAX, but
Bad
Oh,
way to
the
I
do
don't
it.
know
lines,
what
got
to
it.
do, honestly. Yeah.
I'm with you now. I figured out what you're saying, Beta.
So Tetris Effect, which is the game I wanted to play at the PlayStation booth, same thing. And they did this last year because also VR is a thing.
It's a thing, it's hard to get
it's
into.
Harder, yeah. So it makes maybe a little bit more sense there.
Yeah.
But you have to download the PlayStation Experience app, and then you have to get a slot. But the slots only open at 9 a.m. every day, or 1 p.m. I think for the afternoon.
Mhm.
So 9 a.m. I'm sitting there in the bathroom, like 8:59, hitting it, and then it hits 9, and I hit it, and there's another button for confirmation of appointment, and I don't hit that faster than whoever the other guy was that hit it. So I missed 11, and I backed out, and I just watched all the other times go full. So
Yeah.
that didn't happen.
It's cool, because they can really, really fill the time
Supreme
out, I
is
guess.
really affecting everyone.
Yeah, Supreme is...
This is exactly the same thing.
Clothing,
but with clothing.
It's a clothing issue.
Yes.
That's the thing. I don't love it.
It
This
is
is
an
what
odd
everyone's
change,
doing.
Beta Bliss. We hope they figure it out, but I mean,
They won't.
I mean-
it'll continue down this road because everybody is
the
doing
Kingdom
this.
Hearts method was stupid too.
what do they do?
What did they do?
I can't remember.
You had to go to the desk at 10 a.m.
Just go to the
That's
desk.
Yeah, and then they give you tickets.
Yeah.
And if you didn't go at 10 a.m.,
Oh, they give out tickets for the whole day.
that's it.
Wow.
I walked past it because I walked past that and Dragon Quest, and the Kingdom Hearts desk just says tickets at 10 a.m.
You know, I mean,
I'm
Heated.
heated about it. I
Heated.
think it's nonsense.
I know we said we talk about this at the end and kind of our PAX wrap up. We always talk about kind of how PAX has evolved and how it's changed.
Yeah.
I get there's got to be an aspect of somebody wanting to deal with lines, and some of this has to be, as ReadPop has taken over. PAX, as grassroots as it's always been, you feel like that was kind of an excuse. Like maybe they didn't care or
Right.
whatever, but ReadPop is like we do cons, right?
Yeah.
So maybe it's partly that, but also I just feel like as PAX has grown and become less about the fans, really. I mean,
And it feels that way. It does. It does feel like PAX is less about fans now. It really, really does. It's starting to feel like,
or about them in a different, more commercial way.
Well, it sounds like almost like an industry trade show.
It's
rather than a fan show.
It's feeling way closer to that. It's definitely skirting that like really fine line. They're still in that like kind of zone where there's still community here, and you're still getting a little bit of that. But even the enforcers, a number of the enforcers that I know are like, it's becoming unrecognizable to them. Like, from what they're doing, it's becoming unrecognizable. And when that's happening, and these are people that have been doing it for, like, when it was in Bellevue, like, this is prior to the huge thing. Like, they've seen the evolution, and it's not that they're anti-evolving, but they definitely don't believe in evolution. Yeah.
Beta Bliss asks, do they still have the other gaming sections available too? And yeah, I don't know if, I mean...
Like, some of them.
A lot of what we talk about is going to be in retrospect, because, I mean, you guys especially have more experience with PAX. My first year was 2010, maybe. Yeah. I think. So I've seen far less change, maybe, but a lot of what we're talking about is just kind of in retrospect. PAX is still a very fun place to be. There's still lots of fun to be had.
Sure.
And there are still other gaming sections there. You know, Indie Mega Booth we talked a lot about yesterday.
Indie Mega Booth is
still there. Super fun.
And definitely for me, I think the highlight.
The next floor above it is
also
always super fun.
Yeah, so there's still like the main show floor. You've got all that. The show floor, they've changed things up a bit. So there used to be more where you could go down a level where BYOC was, and there was PC free play, and they also used to have board games and stuff down there. They got rid of all that, so the board games are just on the second level now when you come up the elevator. Shadows of Brimstone, by the way, is that board game that I wanted to go play, and that they were like, yeah, we're going all day.
Saturdays are the big day.
Yeah, so I didn't even get a chance to, like, I talked to them a bit about it, but they still have some of the areas, but they're different now. Like, they've changed. They're smaller. They're in different spots. They're not as populated as they were either. Like, the Nintendo area, the DS lounge, like, that is, I've never seen that place as empty as I have today. On a Saturday, that place is usually packed, and nobody was in there. And I went and, like, nobody was on the beanbags. Nobody's, like, it's just a weird thing. And this is also, let's preface, I guess, maybe more of this. This is also a very odd year because Fortnite is destroying everything. And as far as
destroying
in a good way, in terms of PAX, because what we found is that yesterday and today and I think tomorrow, they've got stuff going across the street at the Annex. And so the main show floor, fairly empty, and for Saturday today was way emptier than it has been in a long time.
It's weird from morning, like, all the way into the day. Like, we got there maybe 15-20 minutes early yesterday, and the line, it was still they cordoned it off, and it's a big fat line, and it goes down an entire street, and it was only down maybe half of this one street. We've been there in the morning where it just goes and goes and goes. And it was weird. I was like, oh, maybe it's because a lot of times they'll cordon it off in different areas and let one side in first and then another side. So I'm like, oh, maybe the rest is just in another area. We got there again this morning at maybe 15 minutes to go, and we're closer than we were yesterday. And I'm looking across the street, and I can see the Fortnite line, and it's bigger, and it's around the building. And I'm like, okay. Yesterday I wasn't sure. Today I'm 100% positive. Like, the crowds are over there.
Yeah, thank you.
It's totally thinning out.
And stay there, honestly. Like, that's great. It leaves the show floor open, and while they're... I mentioned this, I think yesterday, and I mentioned it again today when I was talking to Khalif. Shout out Spawn on Me. Go check out their podcast.
We'll get there, too.
And we will get there. But it's a very anemic show floor. There's just not a lot there. Yeah. That's the thing. It's not that there's not good games there. There are good games. But there's just not a lot of games. There are a lot of giant booths for companies. Like, I'm seriously, I am legitimately bothered by Facebook being here.
Discord.
Who cares about Facebook gaming? I understand why Discord is here. Well, Discord makes sense to me. Twitch also does make sense. Facebook does not. Facebook gaming, you're nothing right now.
Ninjalo? I don't even know what that is.
There's a lot of, it's like, and this goes back to that whole, like, it's becoming less a fan show, because how many fans want to deal with Facebook? No, we put video games there. Like, Facebook is in the spot where Evolve was, where Fallout was, where Ubi was. Like, all of these giant things, and now we've got Facebook. Bite my ass.
I mean, this is at least 3 years running where, and maybe this is me coming from, inexperienced PAXer that I am. I feel like this is the third year where they haven't had like one big game. Okay, I guess if you don't count Fortnite, but there's
on the show floor,
on the show floor where you're like, okay, no matter what we do, that's one of the ones that we do while we're here.
It's
sometime,
like the tent poles. The closest thing we've got to a tent pole game at PAX right now is, and I hate saying that this is like the least interesting thing for me, is Spider-Man. Because it comes out next week.
I was bummed. Yeah,
I'm not going to go. I'm not standing in line for 2 hours to play a game that's coming out in a week.
Yeah.
That is already. It's an Insomniac. It's an Insomniac game for one.
Yeah.
Well, you were going to get it.
And I'm going to get it because it's an Insomniac game. I know it's going to be good, so I'm going to get that game.
The same thing happened when Borderlands 2 came out.
Exactly.
It came out a week after. There were capped 4-hour lines all day.
Yep.
And I said, I already have the game bought. Bye.
Yeah. No, exactly. It's pointless. It's stupid.
And what's your other option? Resident Evil 2?
Which again, I love. I don't want
to 3-hour line.
I would love to. I would love to play the redux of that. Frankinator Gaming. Hello, Frankinator Gaming. Welcome to the show. We're talking about gaming now, actually.
We did. We went deep into PAX where we said we wouldn't. But,
yeah.
Hey.
But get back to Resident Evil. Like Resident Evil is one of those weird ones for me because it's legitimately my favorite Resident Evil game. I love that game. I will almost certainly buy that remake, but I don't want to stand in line for 2 hours for a game I've already played, knowing I already love it, and that I could get a T-shirt, but I also could be standing in line for 2 hours that I just don't want to do it.
And some of this might again just be us aging gamers here.
I'm a cynical, angry person anyway.
Well, I feel like
everything sucks.
We put up with a lot less than we used to, even 3 years ago.
I don't know that we put up with a lot less. I just feel like the interest to stand in line to play a game I've already played or a game that I already know I'm getting, there is no way that Spider-Man demo is going to turn me off unless every single thing about it is just, oh my god, this control, everything about it is bad.
Yeah, I mean,
it's terrible. Resident Evil 2.
And maybe we're talking about the industry as a whole right now. There just aren't that many original, brand new IPs out there that are doing something new and innovative. And
that's an interesting one. So Bendy and the Ink Machine, I've seen it all over the place, and I actually caught a little bit. It's right
Xbox
next to
booth this year.
It's right next to that Two Crowns game.
Yeah, which we did talk about yesterday.
And I don't know anything about it. I kind of saw stuff. I saw a little bit of the gameplay, and I've seen people with things like items.
All I know about
apparel.
Bendy is the iOS runner that came out, I want to say maybe a month or so ago.
Oh, all right.
And honestly, I was a little turned off by it because it looked like it was trying to trade in on, some Cuphead stuff. So I was very sensitive to that. That being, one of my top games ever.
Tier, yeah.
It looks like a cash in from far away. I don't have any experience with the gameplay. That game that's at PAX right now at the Xbox booth looks fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't know what more there is to it. So, I mean, our fault. Maybe we need to figure that out.
Yeah, well, so actually, what are you thinking about it? What is it? What is it that's getting you? Is it the art style? Is there something? What's the hook that's grabbing you? I'd love to actually
let us know.
Yeah.
I'm putting it on my list right now, and because there's not a huge line for it. It would be easy to check out.
Yeah, we can totally check that out tomorrow.
Check it out tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, we will come back with
this. Let us know in the chat. Yeah, keep it coming. Let's go into what we did see. How about that?
All right. Let's do it.
First thing, me and Dallas is here, so you still hear his name. Again, a buddy with us at the show, not necessarily on the show.
Yeah. He's on his phone.
Nothing.
It has a welcoming community and a great
I'm
team.
just letting people know that you exist. Because we're going to use your name, because I've been with you. Okay. Thumbs up from Dallas, everybody.
That is a huge deal, and I totally get that. Having a really good community can elevate a game very easily. So that's cool to hear.
For the folks at home, we gotta. Did you read it out?
No, yeah, it says it has a welcoming community and great team.
Frankinator Gaming says it has, speaking of Bendy, a welcoming community and a great team.
How many do you guys want to get in on reading this, just so we can have as much redundancy?
So from what I've heard is that it has a great community and something else about a good team.
And that goes a long way, honestly. That goes a long way.
I can't read.
Okay, good.
Fair enough.
So I'm
glad
Music
man can't read.
No.
It's only a news
at 11.
Yeah. It's notes. And the dev teams are a huge part. That's
pretty big when it comes to games.
When it comes to building them, useful. I mean, not the most important thing.
I think played a game without a dev team.
100%.
It's the freaking worst, man.
You know what? if you're still making money on it, it doesn't matter.
Wait, who is
fair
the
enough.
dev team for Rock Paper Scissors? I play that game every day.
Bam! You just got served.
Whatever. Who was the dev team? Grog
Are you talking about the drink?
and the community.
Somebody was drunk and like,
Great.
I'm gonna hit you with a rock.
the-
I'm gonna slap you with some
here's
paper and then
dev
I'm
team for
stab
rock,
you with
paper,
some
scissors.
scissors.
The community
And
was-
He made the brew.
He's a
The guys.
He's
And what a grassroots community. That's all.
If you had come to PAX West, we would have said hi.
We wish you were here too,
Yeah.
Frank and Nader Gaming. Where are you actually, Frank and Nader? And while you think of that,
And what's your
answer-
phone
You're gonna
number?
actually
Yeah,
get
what's
to that
phone number?
list.
What's
Social
your
security number.
and your address? Where you
First
live?
game me and Dallas went to see
Yes.
was Metro Exodus.
Ooh.
I went to see that too.
You did. Oh, actually, you were there. You were with us from the beginning. We waited in line. What was your name again? Whatever. The other guy. Went to see
I
Metro
hate everything
Exodus.
about you.
I was the one that got in line, so screw whatever. You
Oh,
have no
look at me.
ownership.
Did you show
Yeah.
up like halfway through?
I'm
line?
the-
Hey guys. how you
I'm
doing?
the liner.
How long you been standing?
Like
in line for?
you're the
Oh,
like
2 hours.
the
Oh.
crappiest X-Men character ever. Your mutant
The
power is the
liner,
ability
yeah.
to queue like all hell.
Okay.
It's impressive.
We did. We all went to Metro Exodus.
Oh no, it's just you and Dallas. I showed up late.
Gosh dang. It was at the Corsair booth, which is why you couldn't find it, if you're wondering.
Seriously?
Frank Nader Gaming is in Long Island. You've been doxxed, but that's why he couldn't make it to PAX this year. Hey, that's okay. We did talk with from two different places, or one if you count
Wow, you're.
Chicago Easterners. We did talk with two of them. We'll get to there.
By the way,
Chicago.
Long Island. Islanders or Rangers, or do you not care at all? Just curious.
Oh boy,
no, go.
sports.
No. I'm just curious. Look, I'm just
Okay.
curious.
That was a sports.
It was a
reference.
sports.
We
What
waited in
what
line.
is of the sport?
All right,
For
Exodus.
maybe an hour, we got in to play Metro Exodus. Sat down at a PC, as we so
At that-
often do.
Are you okay?
No.
WASD,
Are you
my
a-
friend.
It dawned on me while we're in the line. I'm like, we're standing there. We're like 4 people in, or 4 people like from getting in, and I go, "Oh my god, you're gonna hate this!" Like I totally realized it, and he looked at me and he goes,
For those of you that don't know, he doesn't play PC games.
I don't play PC games.
He's a hardcore
I'm-
console
I
guy.
am
He's part of
the
the console
Adam
elite.
Parkin of the United
"Calm
States.
down.
Okay.
You can't."
I'm glad you survived. Are your fingers all right?
It's okay.
I
I
feel-
kind of
Every time we
Stuck
go
that
here,
way.
I feel like I need to reiterate. This is by choice. I don't have anything against PC gaming.
it was consensual PC gaming.
PC gamers.
Okay.
I just don't
He
like
does not like
keeping
them.
up a PC. That's why I use a Mac. That's why I have to keep it up less. Not that I don't have to keep it up at all.
I just bought a Dell. and
I
it's
know
great.
they're
I
not
play
bad.
PUBG.
Everybody
Which one?
says when I
Redemption.
mention
Hello,
that.
or-
You know,
You got a Dell, dude.
I got dude.
I don't the
Hello
the
from the other side, you know?
control scheme as usable as it is. And how it has gotten easier. I will say I didn't actually struggle that much with Metro, but it's just not
Nice.
my favorite.
Yeah,
You know,
you just
Not
have,
an excuse.
I'm
'cause
actually
you can-
I'm on the same wave as you. I don't play PC games.
Ian Block, man.
and that's funny because we did. I tried to get you into them. I did, and you got into WoW, but just it was
Yeah, it's
That
just
was-
like the whole thing. Like I don't own a mouse. I only have a trackpad.
Do you want a mouse? We can
No,
get you a mouse.
it's okay.
Like somebody's got one around here we can take.
But
There's lots
so
of
it was
computers
just like it was
at the
always like
expo hall.
I will give
once
you a
once I like
I've got like 5 of them
didn't have a
somewhere.
mouse for whatever reason. I tried to play some games with the trackpad. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
this is
Yep.
impossible.
No, that's no good. Yeah,
Yep,
don't do
That's
that.
where I'm at.
and I
too.
didn't
I'm
have like a desk or like a
you need
flat
a
thing
mouse?
for my
I
mouse.
don't
so
need
I
a
was
mouse.
just sitting there going,
You
this
would not be
doesn't
the
make
first one to
sense.
offer to give me a mouse. But-
So how did Exodus turn
Oh.
out? Even though you were using a computer.
It's not a euphemism.
Exodus,
people.
the game.
Exodus is an
Yeah.
amazing looking game.
Looks it does. It looks
gorgeous.
fantastic.
I mean, yeah, we were probably running on fantastic syncing monitors of sorts.
The settings-
4K maybe.
I don't know if they were 4K.
Okay.
They were not. The settings, I think, for most of them were
Probably 1080p.
they were 1080p.
Yeah, okay.
I think everything was running 1080p.
Okay. Well, typically at cons they give good setups because obviously they want the demo to play well and
Yeah.
look good, kind of instantly, even for people walking by.
Right.
So yeah, it looks great. Metro Exodus, for anybody who doesn't know, is the next.
It's the third in a series.
Correct. It's the next Metro game. Oh, I was expecting to get railed for that one. It is,
Well, now
that
it
died-
makes sense.
That died a long time
Yeah,
ago.
but it's open world. So how do you demo a game like that is always the question. The way they did it was by giving what people often call a vertical slice, but I think it was a good one. We talked
It
about
was,
a bad
yeah.
demo yesterday in terms of Darksiders.
And we're going to get to that
We
here
might talk
shortly.
about that again in a little bit.
Yeah.
But they had a good demo for Metro Exodus.
They did, yeah.
Strangely enough, I think, did you go and shoot people as quickly as possible?
Pretty much, yeah.
I was like all exploration. I died by trying to go in the water a couple times, learned my lesson, and then walked around a bunch of stuff, talked to a guy, freed a guy from a tree, and then just went exploring. And then I got to some guys who were like, one more step, we're going to start shooting you. Did those guys?
Yeah, those are the guys that killed me like 6 times, and then I got pissed about it. I was like, all right, now I'm playing this game like I'm going to kill all of them.
Okay,
and then I did.
Okay, well, they said one more step and I'm going to shoot you. So I said, oh, okay, sorry. And then I backed off and I went and explored some more.
You're like, 0 confrontation.
Like, fair enough, my fault. I'm sorry.
This is your land.
This is your
area. Yes.
Well, his goal is to complete Half-Life 2 by next year. He's been playing it for a decade.
On his way.
So, but still not disappointed with anything I saw. How did the combat feel for you?
At first it was, I haven't played Metro in a while. I didn't play the sequels. I played through 2033. Love that. And this is a very interesting version, like an interesting take on it, because the original Metro, like, you're either underground the entire, like fighting things in a sewer, the Metro you might refer to it as, like Berlin does, or you're barely outside and it's like permanent winter.
Yeah.
You have to, and I did find you do have to still use the gas mask at some point, because I did find gas masks.
I did find a place underneath it was a burnout school where I had to put on a gas mask, and then as I went farther,
that's cool. So I didn't find any of that. So the combat felt similar to what I remember Metro feeling like. The main thing I don't remember from Metro is I don't remember fighting a lot of humans. I feel like Metro was a lot of monsters. Like a lot of weird creatures, but it's been so long that I can't remember.
Some humanoids that weren't the monsters. I can't remember. They were a warring faction, I think, or something like that. I want to say Nazis. Were they?
Yeah, always good to kill.
I don't think they were. I can't remember.
In video games. I mean,
Nazis,
let's get into killing people in real life. I don't know. The combat felt okay. The crossbow was actually surprisingly, like, it felt weighty, and when you fired the crossbow, like, and you missed. Like, I totally went, oh yeah, I deserve to miss that. That was not, like, I definitely deserved to. Like, it felt right. Which, I don't know, that's, some games don't hit that. The shotgun felt pretty good. The Uzi did not feel good at all. There was something off about the mass bullet firing. It just didn't, and maybe it was just because I don't know enough about how the factions work and whether or not what they're wearing makes an actual difference. Like, do their helmets actually stop bullets or slow them down or whatever? Yeah. Like, I'm not sure. And if they do, then that's cool. Like, that's fine. Combat felt good though. It's like, it's definitely a game I'm super interested in. It makes me want to go and play the Redux and then do the sequel.
Yeah, I think Last Light is now farther up on my list than it was. Frankenator Gaming is from the New York area.
Spyro!
He's now using his phone.
Could be cheap.
And he's excited for Spyro.
Let's not gender exclusive.
I'm sorry. They are using
They?
Any experience or excitement for Spyro? I don't have a whole lot of...
Spyro's funny, man. Spyro is a game that I have so much history with because it was an early game for my daughter. And it was the game that showed up. It was used in tandem with Zelda when she was learning to read, and she was like, this was a game that had minimal reading, but it gave her it was the dexterity stuff and learning the hand-eye coordination stuff. So I really like Spyro. I don't know that I would be super into it now, mostly just because there's so many other games coming out that are a little more my speed now. But Spyro's got a great game for the kids. I highly would recommend it.
That genre is just waiting for something. I mean, there was Yooka-Laylee. There was, I want to say, another stab at it before that, but I feel like Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts was kind of the last solid
I could agree with that
game in that genre. So, I mean, if Spyro can do something, I think the time is right.
Yeah, no, it'd be great. Like, it's kind of weird that quality kids games seem really underserved.
Game. I just think
but I mean, I guess quality games that are not exclusively M-rated. Yeah. Everything is being murdered, and it can still be enjoyed by anybody. But
and that isn't a Lego game, for Christ's sake.
100%. Yes.
I'm so tired of Mario and Mario Kart and Lego everything in my house right now. I want I'm considering going back to some of the greats. Yeah, I got two
kids over here.
Yeah, and I really would like some fresh takes on games that I would like to genuinely sit there and play with my kids rather than just going, oh God, are you done with this?
Yeah.
Going, hey, awesome, buddy.
They did have Lego DC supervillains at the show.
Which I'm not gonna lie, I shockingly like I'm super in your position where I'm kind of over Lego games, but that one.
They always look great as the thing.
That-
They're like,
and-
it's all of my favorite characters as Legos.
This one is Lego DC villains.
It's villains.
It's
okay, I get it. Yeah.
And then you
I
get
could
it,
be
you're like,
Eobard Thawne,
they got me
the
again.
fastest
dang
man
it.
alive.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Screw Barry. He's a jerk.
Is that-
What games are we most excited for? We'll actually probably get to that in a bit. It's kind of gonna.
We are excited for the games that we played at PAX, so we're gonna
Yeah.
we're gonna dovetail here and say that we're also excited to play Dragon Quest XI. Was another game that me and Dallas made it out to, and you definitely were not there for that one, Matthew. We've got another incoming here from Frankinator.
The Bendy and the Ink Machine game is like BioShock and Outlast. Chapter 1 is free on Steam, but 2 through 4 are $5.99 USD.
Oh, so
I love
episodic.
everything you just said about that.
Yeah, that's cool.
You may have sold that better than anything that I've seen here sold that. So now I'm super interested, and we're definitely checking that out tomorrow.
Okay, all right. Well, shoot, we can check it out right now. Apparently.
Yeah, all right, that's cool. We're gonna go. Bye.
Well, now it's just a Bendy and the Ink Machine stream. Welcome.
Bendy and the Ink Stream. Ink Stream.
The stream machine?
You guys just got channeled.
Hello?
Well, this is a call-in show.
I've been waiting all cast to use the stupid
forgot
hotel
that was there.
phone drop, and I feel like I
mirror's
just
still
chose the
there.
stupidest
Yeah,
time.
forgot.
You didn't do a
there.
great one, but you know what?
Okay, pretend like that didn't happen. We'll try it out later.
Okay, yeah.
We
Ignore
went
everything.
to Dragon Quest XI. This
Dragon
had been on my radar because I played Dragon Warrior possibly 4 in 1980, whatever that was, on
Yeah.
the Nintendo Entertainment
So
System.
Dragon
You there?
Warrior.
I played the first Dragon Warrior when I was 7.
Wait. Are we talking about Dragon Warrior or Dragon Quest? And also, are you saying that you played Dragon Warrior and that made you want to play Dragon Quest, or
No,
vice
I
versa?
think
The
it's the same
answer is-
lineage.
the
So,
answer is
yeah.
yes.
Are they the same thing?
Yeah.
It's the same lineage.
Which-
Are they? I don't know anything about this series. It's not a series I've ever touched, even when I as a kid. I knew them. I saw the games that had these similar titles. Never touched them.
I don't know the actual. What was the word you just used?
Lineage.
I don't know.
I forget words quickly.
I'm making up words to describe it. That's
I don't know.
That's a
Like,
real
I don't
word.
know
That's a
when
real
the
word,
game
yeah.
split or whatever. I just remember when I started seeing when I started seeing Dragon Quest games. Because Quest and Warrior, it's like you could have told me. Like I thought the old games were called Dragon Quest at that point.
Okay,
and then
sure.
found out. I mean, they use slimes. They use lots of the same enemies. So I probably picked up on that at some point. But yeah, it
I
was
know
the
I
first one or the fourth one. I actually
Yeah.
can't remember. I think it was 4 because I'm looking at the NES manual and I think it's got an IV on it. But I freaking love that game. It's a Roman numeral.
I
It stands
got
for
it.
4.
I know.
Gosh, I'm burdened with knowledge.
you still.
That's
You still have
the
DS,
bird.
right?
It's your
I
lineage.
do still have a DS.
Is Dragon Quest 9 Sentinels of the Starry Sky is really good, and
That game's
that's my most
tight.
favorite one.
Yeah, that game's super
I'm
good.
still,
Okay,
I'm
all
still
right.
playing
these
All right.
games.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
bought
What am I
you
I had to
bought
look
that
it up
game
to
for
remember
me.
what it was.
I imagine I did. I don't know anything about
In fact,
it.
I didn't know anything about it, and then you handed it to me. And we're like, "Hey, here's a game." And it was like, "Oh, tight." And then
Busted.
I beat it, and I brought it to PAX one year because they had treasure maps.
I have no bloody
Or
clue
something.
Wow.
how that at all happened. Well,
I don't. I
it
didn't.
must have
I
been-
didn't understand it at the time. I was like, "I've shown no interest in this game.
There-
What
so
is
you
this?"
played-
And
there
I
must have
like
been a
all of it.
review.
I
thing.
played
Must have
Dragon Quest
Yes.
11.
Let's
because
get to this. Let's hear it.
I had heard,
I'm
and
curious. I know,
possibly
yeah.
unjustifiably so, because I don't know what's gone on since Dragon Quest 4.
Oh, you haven't played any since then?
None.
Oh my god.
At all. I just
Yeah.
know that I love that game, and I still
missed a
hold it
lot.
in high regard. Like, and it was weird too, because I got maybe one game a year when I was a kid, and we'll get to Frankinator Gaming. And like for Christmas, that was the thing. I would get, if a new system was out, I would get a system.
Yeah.
But if the system we already had, I would get a game. Somehow we got Dragon Quest. I don't know why. I don't know why my mom would have bought that one. You know, we did play Zelda. It's closely related, but it's more kind of Japanese or whatever. And it's
Might have
it's
just
turn-based
looked
combat.
cool.
Like
Yeah, I might have-
Yeah.
I don't know, but I ended up with it and I played it and I loved it. And I heard that this game made maybe significant callbacks to the older games, which again, I don't know. Maybe this is something that is carried on throughout and it's just been part of the game. So I don't know. I thought it would be cool to go back and check it out and see if it did kind of have some of that DNA and remind me of something. Again, spent the whole time exploring the first level. No combat at all.
So how'd the combat feel?
What?
Good?
How do you avoid combat in that
It
game?
gives you 3 options, and one of them was explore a cobblestone, which is where you start. And having played like A Link to the Past, that's one of your favorite parts is waking up in bed and exploring the city.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
your
Okay.
hometown. So I was
Yeah.
like, I want a good hometown
Chests and
experience.
Looting your neighbors.
What was it? Where
stealing from
And
your
getting
was it?
killed in some sort of, I don't know, conflict or something.
And getting into a dungeon and going, hey, where am I dead?
Yeah.
Kokiri Village? What is it called?
Yeah,
Something like
I
that.
think that was it. Yeah. So I did that, but I did get out in the city, and then they said, "Well, here's your horse, and you can run over enemies with your horse because it's not."
Okay, wait a
They
minute.
just
Now
give you
I'm
a horse?
interested in the game.
there's
I
no-
really wanted to
Right
play
away,
this
they
game,
give you a
but
There's no random
the line
encounters.
was capped.
The
Oh.
line was capped.
When I walked past it, the line was capped.
That was
at
another
like
thing
30
they're
minutes.
doing.
More
Yeah,
importantly,
it was like,
there's no random
done.
encounters.
There's no random encounters. You go up and you hit a button to initiate
You
combat.
oh, that's weird.
And if you do
Well,
it from
I don't-
yeah,
behind-
because like in the one I brought up, that you see the mobs, and you can avoid them and what have you.
Okay.
But if
Yeah.
they touch you, you're in it.
yeah,
right?
they're in it.
So
It's
you
not
can
like
touch them all you want, from what I understand. I don't know. I was on a horse running them over as quickly as possible.
Getting very frank.
So technically, I engaged in the combat a lot and beat a lot of people.
Heck yeah, dude.
because you trampled them to death.
Yeah, you
That's
you did
combat.
you killed him. With
your
horse.
class is cavalry.
Frankinator Gaming. As a thank you gift, if you have 2 to 4, the team will give you the 5th chapter for free, but the full Steam release is $19.99. So much support. Last year's version was really scary. Still talking about Bendy and the Ink Machine here. October 24th is Xbox One and PS4. Sorry, 26th. He said shortly afterwards. And he had a great summer.
They had
They-
a great summer.
Okay. Everybody have a great summer.
Yes,
As a rule.
but they.
Okay.
Stop saying he.
They.
We
So
live
I
we
get
live
what
in
you're
a
saying.
different world.
I'm sorry.
Thank you for that information. I genuinely want to check this game out. And if it's good, like if it comes out and like your sale is going to give
Yes,
them a sale.
do-
Because I'm just going to buy the whole game, like
How do we make sure you
And
get
then-
your commission?
and then stream it.
Let us know.
I will likely try to give it a stream on Twitch too. I'll break up Dead by Daylight.
So what were you doing while I was Dragon Questing?
While you were Dragon Questing,
Warrioring.
while you were warring your
Whatever.
faction of wars,
Sure.
I got to remember the name of the game. It's called Last Year the Nightmare, I think is what it is.
That is correct,
That's
actually.
right. It is. Look at that.
Notes, everybody.
I walked
Oh.
I walked around for a little bit and I went upstairs and I found this game called Last Year. What is it called?
The Nightmare.
Last year.
Wow, I love it.
Lineage.
Nightmare, the
This
spooky
show, the
time.
I'm
Nightmare.
so happy that my record for forgetting words has been broken so early
Like
on in the
right
show.
away.
Yeah.
I swear, I'm like
Oh
completely
my
sober
God.
too. That's
Last
the worst
year,
part
the
about
Night
it.
Terrors, something like that.
Did you
So-
like the game you can't remember now?
I think I did. I'm fairly certain I was there and I played the game.
Crazy.
So the game, the conceit of the game is it's I hate the reductiveness of using the word clone,
Gotta do it.
but it's a Dead by Daylight clone. So it's 4v1, 4 survivors, 1 killer. The conceit that they have is a little more novel, I think, than Dead by Daylight. Dead by Daylight's is you've got killers, you've got survivors, an entity brought them together, and go. It's called The Last Year because it takes place in a high school. So you are teenagers. One of the characters has like the big old brace thing, like the braces, the big the headgear. And they have classes, which is something that Dead by Daylight does not have. So you can have like
chemistry and physics. And
yeah, exactly.
art class?
You learn. You actually, it takes place in the gym. The game is just a gym simulator. You're actually the killer is the gym teacher.
It's pronounced Gymulator.
Gym. Thank you.
Worthwhile contribution.
That seems like somebody's name, honestly. But Gymulator, yeah. So they have the characters have classes that are not school related.
There you go.
But I mean, it's like a
You
double
got it.
entendre.
It's
so.
like yes, they have.
One
Never
over
mind.
his head first.
No, it went under my B.
Sorry, go ahead.
Crack.
Stop
So
saying
they
that
have the different classes, and the classes I only played one single game of the game, and so I'm not real versed in the classes. I don't remember what they all are, but one was like a repair person, and one person had you could heal. One person had you could fight back. You could actually like hit the monster or the killer, and the other person I was just hanging out. This is probably the stoner of the group. I was like, oh yeah, man, let's go get killed. Oh dude, there's killer. So The other thing that this game kind of does that I think is interesting is the way that the killer is set. The killer, like, they have way more verticality for the killer here. There's lots of, like the killer can move forward and jump, like teleport without being seen. So the killer can kind of be invisible and then appear and just attack you. And so it's a weird game that follows that 4v1 thing, and it does have a kind of an angle to it with the classes and the way the killers work. And it's kind of difficult to explain the killer without making it sound like super OP. And even watching the game, you look at it and you're like, man, those killers seem really, really OP. Of course, everybody playing the game except the killer are all PAX people. The killer is a dev. So the dev is doing everything they can to make the show look good. And they even said it. They're like, look, we're not going to just let you get out. You got to get out on your own. You got to win on your own. And I totally had, like, I mentioned earlier today, I said that a good demo, I think a good demo is one that you walk away and think, okay, I kind of dig that game. I like it. I'm going to keep it in the back of my mind. Metro is a good example. That was a good demo. It's in the back of my mind. I'm going to watch it as it develops, how it comes out, and see this. A great demo, you walk away going, I had an experience with that. There was a moment. Not a watershed moment maybe, but you had a moment that went, wow, okay. For everything that I see in this game that maybe is a little funky, that I might not totally dig, you get that moment and it goes, okay, that was cool. And I had that moment. Everybody else on the team is dead. I'm the only person alive. I'm running up the thing. The guy catches me, throws me off. The other two people, they're getting killed at this point. They get killed. I'm coming back up the stairs. The dude comes down. I stare. I'm like watching him. He's like far away from me. He gets ready to do his charge thing, and he's going to just bolt right at me. So he bolts right at me, and I go around him. He's got to be a bolt. He has to go straight. Okay, that's my assumption. I don't know. So I'm guessing. I just took a step. And he goes flying past me. Oh my God! I'm gonna go! I'm gonna get out! I'm getting out! I'm getting out! I go all the way up the thing, get all the way up to the exit, and I'm like, yes, yes, yes. As I'm getting to the exit, there's a wall right here and a wall right here. He pops out from behind the wall. He punches at me, and I actually got around him. I juked him. But the game has stamina. I had no more stamina to run. So I'm like limping, like, killer behind me. And he catches me right before I hit the exit. I would have been the only one to escape. And it was a great moment. Like, it looked cool. It looked amazing in the game. Like everybody around, they were watching it because it was on the screen, and it was on the big screen. It was like, for an indie game, this is on the 6th floor, by the way. 6th floor, indie studio. Indie game has the biggest presence on that floor, I think. Everybody, everybody lost it. And even I was like, I'm sitting there like, what happened? And it was great. It was an awesome moment. And I ended up spending a few minutes talking to one of the developers, and the game is fascinating. They're actually releasing the game on Discord. Discord is doing game releases. They have stuff, so they're going to be releasing the game on Discord. They said they're looking at I think early next year is the hope, and I'm really interested in this because I like Dead by Daylight so much. This is another take on it, and it goes back to like even Evolve. Like I loved Evolve. I love the asymmetric gameplay, and it give me a horror game. Oh yeah. They've got multiple killers. The killers right now are very analogish because they are not. They're an indie studio for one, so they're not getting any licenses, and two, I don't know if they're ever going to get licenses. I don't know if that's their goal. But the killers are analogs very much. Like the giant Hulk guy that I kind of fought was Jason, basically. There's a Strangler dude that is kind of like Freddy. And there was another character that's basically Michael Myers.
Oh yes, Freddy Strangler.
The Freddy Strangler. Yeah. It's
what he does.
It's
just like he would have a hard time with his nails.
It's just a very loose fitting sweater. It just feels like you've got like a light person holding onto your throat.
Yeah. Well, it works.
This is abrasive.
If you twist, he basically just cuts your neck.
Oh, I see. That's right.
Yeah. One of the things that I thought was pretty funny about it though is unlike Dead by Daylight, you rarely die in a kind of unique way. Like the killers can do a thing called a mori, where they can do a specific kill. A lot of Dead by Daylight is you're getting picked up, you get put on a hook, and
Yeah.
that's how you die. That's cool. It's fun. This is also similar in that it has kind of a standard way it does it, but it's way more brutal because the killers are hands-on here. There's no hooks. If they get a hold of you, they've gotten a hold of you.
Yeah.
And like the Hulk guy just picks you up and he does the Loki thing from like Hulk Smash. He goes boom boom, except there's blood going everywhere.
Oh, sure.
Wow.
It was, and the Strangler guy, there were a number of people that you could hear audibly squeaked out when he strangles you, and then as you fall to the ground, he pulls the head back, he stabs you in the eye, and then he slams your head down so that and people audibly were like, oh god, I can't. No.
I'm beginning to see why you like this game.
It's a good game. It was fun. It was cool. It was a good
the first time
experience.
you saw Mortal Kombat back in the day.
The game felt really good. And okay, I got to mention this one last thing.
All right.
There is the one weird mechanic in the game that does not exist in DBD. It did not exist in Evolve wholly, but it did kind of exist in Evolve. DBD, when you're dead, you're done. You're done. Game's over.
Yeah.
You're out. You can spectate, but you're dead. You're not coming back. In this, you can actually be saved by people. You die and you end up in a room upstairs, like in a classroom. They have to come upstairs, find which classroom you're in, and it's got a nice bright thing. It tells you where it is. I'm not sure if the killer can see that, but you can be saved and brought back at least twice, because it happened to me twice. The first time I fell in a hole right away and then I got killed. But
Sure.
what are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
You know, you're not looking for holes in a school.
And on that note,
Oh, wait.
I want to hear about. So I try very hard to pretend like this isn't happening in a hotel room, but it's a little bit harder tonight. And I also try to pretend like Sean doesn't have extremely long legs, but he does. Ian, this may be purposeful, but has slowly been moving off camera, perhaps to leave the podcast if necessary. And I want to mention that because Ian, I want to hear about what you played today, what we played yesterday.
So I did the normal thing that I do at PAX every time is you walk the whole floor and then I don't want to play any of these games.
Right. That was me
I
also.
went with my good friend Patrick.
Patty P.
My best friend Patrick even.
Patty P.
As many people who I've spoken to in real life know him only as the full phrase my best friend Patrick.
That's true.
So we walked around the floor a little bit, kind of saw what was going on, and then went immediately up to the next floor because that tends to be just quieter and easier to maneuver, and you just can play games, which is always nice.
Interesting function.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I played 2 games. One very fun. Or no, I played 3 games. One very fun and 2 that were not so fun. So the first game we played was called Dusk. And Dusk was, I think it's made by New Blood. And it's basically like Quake Horde mode.
We saw that game.
Yes.
Were the guns nutso?
No, they were just.
Okay.
Did you flip your shotgun flipped around when you reloaded it, or your machine gun flipped around or something?
The machine gun. I mean, I think when you swap them, they kind of flipped around.
Oh,
But
maybe that's what we were.
You start,
seeing.
you start out with 2 sickles, and then you just grab as many guns as you can and hope you don't die. So that game was super duper fun. I think we played it about 4 times each.
Just deathmatch, right? You're running around?
No, it's just horde. It's horde mode.
Oh.
So it's just
Like,
the
almost
first.
Serious Sam is kind of the vibe I got.
Yeah, the first
Huh.
level, the first wave. There's 3 enemies, and then it just increases from there.
Wow, hard difficulty here.
Yeah, it gets hard.
Yeah, I imagine.
You get to we played it on 3 difficulties. We played it on I Can Take It, which is their normal mode.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the guy go before me, which was I think the only time the game had a line. When I was there,
the guy you were the
was
line?
the guy
One
before me.
guy who was playing
I saw him go to the difficulty
Lineage.
setting, look around, and then pick normal setting, which I thought was hilarious. So I played normal setting, and normal setting, it was really fun, not super duper challenging. Really good time. And then we played it on Duskmare, which is the hardest difficulty.
Duskmare, I hate it.
And Patrick played, got 1 shot after killing 6 people. I played, got one shot after killing 0 people.
Nice.
And
Okay.
then this other guy basically jumped on right after us. He was like, yo, really? It's that crazy? And we were like, yeah, it's kind of hard. And then he played once, died, basically doing exactly what I did, died immediately. He's like, oh no. And then he played it again, and he kind of got on a roll where he killed 3 people and then got one shot. And he was like, he walked away and forgot his backpack. He walked away
Just
like,
so mad.
He did this.
He rage
And we were watching him because he was walking away.
Did he forget it, or was like, you can
No,
have my stuff, man?
well,
like,
he-
I don't
like
deserve it.
I owe it.
It was
to you.
yeah.
full of
Just-
stuff. And we both went, is that your backpack? And he was like, oh. So he was terrified for 2 reasons.
Because he was about to jump off like the second story.
He was gone.
Probably safe.
If we didn't tell him his backpack was there, he was gone, and we had a free backpack full of, I assume, t-shirts neither one of us wants.
It's true.
Yes,
He
definitely.
says PAX doesn't have swag, really.
It's just other people's stuff.
You just have to convince people to get very frustrated.
Everything is swag if you think about it.
You're swag.
Ooh,
I'm not swag. I'm swass.
wow.
That's right.
No one said swass in forever.
I've
I say
never
swass
heard it
regularly.
before. What is?
Because he ain't swass.
Okay.
It's a
fair
combination of sweet and ass.
So
It's-
what else
it's
did
an
you play
acronym,
while
dude.
at the PAX?
We played
If you want to be cool,
90s,
you gotta be swass, and I'm
90s football star? 90s
90s
football,
football.
something.
Yeah. We saw this. It was in the Mega booth, right? Was that in the Mega booth?
No, this was
No, that
upstairs.
was rugby.
That was rugby,
Ridiculous
right?
Yeah.
rugby.
I did
Well, it's
see
like a
this,
Montana
though.
football game?
No, it's football.
If it was Joe
Oh,
Montana
so like-
football, it'd be
It's
interesting.
soccer.
Oh.
I'll call it
I heard
90s.
90s. And
I'll
I was
call
thinking
it,
like, oh, okay. You know.
I'll call it 90s.
Joe Montana
soccer
sports
stars
talk
for now.
football.
But yeah, we played 90s football stars, and
Were you Pele?
no, I was Argentina, I think.
Oh,
You
the
think?
classic '90s football star.
Yeah.
Argentina.
Yes. Huge.
Well,
name.
we picked it up and it was on pause, so someone could come in and pick up and play. Argentina was up 1-0. We didn't think about that when we picked the games, but I won. I like to think.
Yes.
I didn't score 1-0.
Didn't you?
Nice.
We didn't get close to the goal
Oh.
ever.
Wait, is it not typical?
It's soccer. It's a soccer game. It's just really weird. It's like it's just I think like the controls and whatever they did doesn't make logical sense because like a lot of the times like you would pass and then you just transfer over to the next character,
right.
which was tight. That works and I like that.
Sure.
But every
Classic.
time I would like pass it. It would pass to the character, and then they'd pass it back to me before it would switch. I'd be like, why are you doing this to me right now? Like, you're supposed to be over there so you have the ball, and then I can go forward. And that's great.
You're trying some hardcore high level strats.
So, like, we played one game, and it didn't do that, and that's the game I won. And then we played another game, and it kept doing that on both sides. And that's the game that I assume ended in a draw for whoever picked it up.
Was there anybody at the booth that you could have been like, hey, what's
No.
going on here? I mean,
no, it was just a random game. Somebody was like,
It
Well, it was one of those like with the upstairs things. Like some of the booths have people, and some of them just have a bunch of setups with like 4 games on
kiosks
them.
or something.
right, yeah.
So it was like that, and it was 2-sided. So there were 2 TVs, and one person or like 2 people could play their game, and 2 people could play their game.
It sounds like a Molyneux game, like the Twitter parody account of Peter Molyneux that just comes up with like crazy game ideas. Like,
I love
what if
that.
you played a
that-
soccer game
Word.
with a teammate who didn't want the ball? He just wanted to be there. He kept passing it to him. He's like, no, I don't.
I'm not
I'm
interested.
not here for that.
I just wanted a close view of the field.
Yeah.
He only does tackles.
I'm incredibly interested
Where the goalie gets out of the way.
in
Yeah.
planting, and I really like a good lawn.
Yeah.
Tell us about the game you really didn't like, Ian.
Let's hear it.
Well, I mean, that was debatably the game I really didn't like.
That's the game you kind of didn't like.
I don't know. It
The
sounds
game
like you pretty much
the game
enjoyed it.
I really didn't like because it shouldn't be as bad as it is Darksiders 3.
Yay! Darksiders
Which-
3 back in the show.
By the way,
yeah, okay.
we talked about this last night,
Oh.
so go watch yesterday's podcast. We have lots of interesting information, and what is it?
Frankinator.
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 Frankinator Gaming. You asked earlier what games we were most interested in. The game that I am like most looking forward to is actually in that last cast. It's called Disco Elysium, but we talked about Darksiders. And please talk more about Darksiders.
So, anything you want to add? Or,
I mean, when you hear someone kind of deride a game real bad, or a demo real bad, you kind of want to experience it.
Yes.
Because you're like, I gotta see why this is bad.
So they talked it up yesterday.
They talked about it yesterday, and
They talked it down.
I had very I
I
was further down on it than Ryan was. Yeah. I had very specific complaints about it. So
so the controllers were
right.
Second party Xbox or Microsoft Xbox 2003 controllers.
Those were like sixth party.
Yeah.
Like somebody made those in their basement with a 3D printer. Like
you walk up to the demo and
they were seriously
hurriedly, quickly, like
gluing finishing it up. He's like,
he's scraping off all the like corn husk that comes.
Yeah, exactly.
Filing it.
Yeah.
So disposable controllers.
The controllers were bad.
Yeah.
The demo just kind of starts like you're just kind of there, and you're like, oh, I'm supposed to like play this. I guess.
Well, there's not a lot of direction.
Most demos will have like kind of a very linear, like you go
lineage.
Here.
It's pronounced lineage.
Some hand holding.
Yeah, they're like it's a demo. They want you to figure it out.
Aren't familiar with the franchise.
Exactly, and this game kind of just was like, yeah, here it is.
If that.
I don't think I saw a person at the booth. There was no line.
Oh, is there anybody?
The only
I still never saw anybody.
The only people I saw were the people that they paid to dress up like the character.
Yeah, the cosplay girl was there. Yeah.
Which was very impressive. Looked really cool. Don't care about it. No offense.
No, it's with you. You're more than anything. You're taking up space.
We legitimately like there was people playing. They both died.
Mm-hmm.
Walked away, and we both just played the game, which is nice. Like I do tend to look for games that are not being played, just so I can be like, okay, let's try something.
Yeah, sure.
So I played it, and it feels really weirdly slow. And then they don't tell you how to get to the boss. Like the main mechanic that they're clearly trying to show off is the grapple swing.
Right.
Grapple swing.
Which is also your weapon. Like it's the everything.
Double jump and hit X, which they don't tell you until you've already figured it out. Which is completely illogical. It's like, to get to the boss, double jump and hit X. And then you get to the second phase of the boss after, I don't know, like 5 hits?
Yeah, it's
really quick that they go, let's do a second phase where the boss just kind of stands there.
In the air. While you learn how to hit X.
Grapple jump.
Double jump and hit X. And when you get to the second phase,
the hand motions going on right now, I could tell you about them.
Grapple jump.
When
audio listeners,
right when you get to that phase is when they say to grapple jump, double jump and hit X. So
it's so stupid.
It's a really and then you sit there and you try to do it a couple times, and then I died. I don't know how. I just was like dead jumping.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I said, awesome.
Good
Lived
game.
up to everything I heard. Really excited about it. Patrick and I think, finished at the same time. And we both went, yeah. And then we walked away. And I think we went back upstairs.
The controls for that game are just so bad.
We did
validated.
We went back and played Dusk.
That's probably enough time for Darksiders.
Yes.
Sean, I don't want to leave you in the lurch here. I feel like you're the Matt Damon of this episode for numerous reasons.
Because he's handsome.
But in that you might get bumped. Do you want to shout out any games here? Any what you've been doing? Any
No.
Okay.
No, I mean, I didn't go to PAX this year. I'm just crashing the party.
You can shout out any game you want if you want.
No, I know. No,
be like, yo, man.
Honestly,
I love Smash TV.
The most fun I've had is by his recommendation of picking up Road Redemption. That's the shout out I'm going to make right now.
Okay,
I'm a huge Road Rash fan from back in the day.
Such a good game.
I spent so much time playing Road Rash 2.
Road Rash 2.
Road Rash 3 a little bit, and then I played it for PlayStation as well. And
Were you?
man,
Did you dig Skitchin too? Because I love Skitchin.
I played
Skitchin was great.
Skitchin, man. But no, Road Redemption, honestly. honestly, shameless plug. Everybody should go play that game and give that guy money so he makes more games. Cause
So Road
it's
Redemption
really
lives
good.
up to the spirit being the spiritual successor.
I would say so.
100%.
There's only a couple rough things about it but in terms of with the way they've chosen to display the combat and like keep the bikes and the enemies in line with each other and stuff. But I think it works really well, and there's enough there to keep me playing. And I'm looking forward to trying to beat the campaign and then play some multiplayer with people.
Yeah.
It's legit fun.
It's a super good successor spiritually.
All right.
In terms.
Okay, cool. We did 2 more things at least at PAX besides eat food. We did go to 2 panels. One of them was the Let's Rank It panel. You didn't make it to that one, and honestly, we only made it to 30 minutes of it because it was overlapping with another panel. Funnily enough, we were in line for it, and we wanted to make sure we made the Spawn on Me panel. And I look in line, and there's Cicero from Spawn on Me in line for the Let's Rank It panel. So we're like, I think we're going to be all right. So we went to Let's Rank It. And if you haven't been to Let's Rank It or heard about it, it takes place at any PAX it can. So there's this ongoing list that's at least, 3 years running.
It's like it's been going for a bit.
And this is from numerous PAXs. And it's Dave Lang and Jeff Gerstmann usually, and a semi-rotating rest of the panel depending on what's going on.
Dave Lang is so freaking funny.
Iron Galaxy, big friend of Giant Bomb, where Jeff Gerstmann does his stuff. And they basically just try and rank everything in the world.
Anything.
Tight.
Just you go to people, walk up to the microphone and give them a thing.
Give them a thing, anything. So there's stuff on there like you get invited to a party that you don't want to go to, and at the last minute it gets canceled. And they're like, oh, it's a great feeling, right? So they rank that somewhere. And it gets silly, and it gets great, and those guys are great, funny guys, and entertaining. Cicero got up, gave his suggestion that made it to S tier, because they had to tier the list because it was getting so long.
Sure.
Yeah.
Jeez, yeah.
So, but then we followed him back to the Spawn on Me panel, which is where we spent pretty much the rest of our PAX today.
Yeah, and,
Nice.
and just prior to you guys showing up, I actually ran into Khalif, who's the producer, editor, one of the hosts of Spawn on Me. Shout out again. Thanks, Khalif. You're awesome. Cicero, great to see you guys. Tanya, great to meet you. And I get to actually record a little bit with Khalif. We did just a short little thing, and right before their awesome panel. They did a fantastic panel. It was their 250th episode. Huge congrats, guys. That's a huge milestone. We're super stoked for you. And it was a great panel. Like I had never met Cicero before, and he's just a total trip because in terms of like how the dynamic between him and Khalif work, it's this that he's Khalif, like in that because Cicero.
No, guys, don't get scared. They're really good.
They're really good though. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to. I'm not trying to bust you guys here. But the Spawn on Me panel was great. They're a podcast that they focus on video games, but they focus on things that a lot of people don't like touching on: sex, race, all the like those deep topics that are especially as we're as the landscape is changing, as things are evolving. They're on the forefront of hitting that stuff up, and it's awesome to hear. Like
they do a great job at it.
They do a great job of explaining where their point of views are coming from and why, and they're always open to hearing other people's perspectives too. They're super cool people. It's a great show. Spawn on Me, check that out. It's a good podcast.
Well, and they do it while having fun, obviously.
Yeah.
They do it while supporting their community, just loving their community, and
Nice.
loving nerds like us. Like, we don't deserve the nice things they've done to us. They were kind enough to put a promo for the show in their show.
Multiple times.
Oh wow.
They've run that multiple times.
See, they're fantastic people.
They're good. They're good people, and we
And a good show.
And
Always
it's a great show.
entertaining.
Yeah.
Well, doggone it, you're good people too.
Calm down. Jesus, this guy over here getting a little.
And that was day 2 of PAX 2018. I'm sure we've got more to come.
We have
like
one.
day
We have
3 and
we
day
have one
4.
other thing. We have one other thing I want to talk about.
Okay.
Oh, God.
I'm fascinated now.
Like,
I don't even know.
no.
The recorder's way over there, so I have no idea how long the show has been going so far. So why not?
Let's find
You
it.
have plenty of
1 hour and 6 minutes.
Oh,
the beauty
gosh.
Of, the beauty of editing.
It's interminable. Please continue, Matt.
Just cut the song.
So,
at the end,
the last thing I actually wanted to mention was I'm I think a lot of people who know me know I'm outgoing a little bit. I'm kind of talky to people. I don't get starstruck by people, and I don't ever get autographs because I just don't see the point in them for me. Like an autograph doesn't do much. For me, meeting somebody who is famous or has done something that I appreciate, I just want to tell them that I appreciate it. That I thank you for the game, thank you for the music, whatever. You know, it's not about pictures. I don't need to post this everywhere. I don't care about anybody else knowing about it. I want that person to know how I felt, and that's it. And there's a game that was announced 3 years ago called The Church in the Darkness, and this game like immediately was like as far in my realm of I want to play that as possible. It takes place in the 70s in a South American jungle where a cult has taken one of your family members, and you're going to go try and get them. It's a top-down roguelite that is got stealth mechanics to it. And it has voices by John Patrick Lowrie and Ellen McLain. Ellen McLain, I think all of you will know the name Ellen McLain. Everybody knows Ellen McLain. She was GLaDOS. John Patrick Lowrie, do you know the name? Do you know who he is?
It sounds really familiar.
He should. He has a really good job, mate. He's a sniper.
In Team Fortress
2, and also real life. I mean,
he's
like he looks like he's killed some people. All I'm saying, that guy is on it. But they're doing voices for the games. They're actually voicing the two preachers that are running the cult, and he both of them are singers, and he writes music, plays guitar. 3 years ago, they played a song at their voiceover panel, and it was this beautiful song that's in the game. Gorgeous song, beautiful, amazing. And I had talked to the developer, and I talked to them, and I was going to get this game. Like, this is a no-brainer for me. So come this weekend, I knew they were going to be here because I'm on the mailing list, and I go upstairs and I talk to the developer, and it was awesome. He remembered me. Like, he looked, it was like, nice. Oh, hey, how's it going? Like he remembered me, and that was super rad. And so John Patrick Lowrie and Ellen McLain were there today to do autographs and signings and all that stuff. And more than anything, like, I'm not going to go into like what they said to me, but they had some really, really inspirational things to say to me that I took to heart. And I'm really, like, it gave me a minute. Like, I had a moment of, I don't know, you could say it was like revelatory.
Can you say that? Can you say that?
You got it out.
Can you say that?
Revelatory.
You can say that.
But it was a cool moment to hear from two people that I super respect for what they do, and to hear not only the way that they're, again, because it's personal to me, so I don't want to, but hearing them like take what I gave them and give me like the way they talked back, the way they spoke to me, it was like they were very sweet and very real and very honest and very
they're great people.
They're great people, and I was like, I'm not starstruck by them. I am blown away by not only how great they are at what they do, but legitimately how great they are as people. Like, they took time with me, and there were only a few people in line, but they easily could have just been, sign this, thank you, and go.
Yeah, what's going on, PAX? There was 3 people in line for
GLaDOS
McLain and
and the sniper. I don't know. I have to assume just because it's upstairs, and
we were there the minute it was. Well, we were.
I was
10 minutes.
I was there early. I was the first person in
playing
line.
Fortnite Battle Royale.
It's true, but it was that was a major highlight for me out of any PAX.
Good
like
day.
That right there. That's something that you don't get at PAX regularly. It's something that, I mean, you don't get anywhere regularly, and you shouldn't probably, but that may have made this PAX more special in a lot of ways than other PAXs.
Well, we'll see if we can top it tomorrow, Matt.
We definitely can't.
For PAX 2018, stay tuned for day 3. We don't know when we're going to be doing it, just like we just don't know when we're going to be doing this one, but we've already done it. So technically we do know when we were going to do this one.
I don't think that tracks.
None of it does.
You know,
0hitpoints.com.
Did you just do the Travelocity?
Yeah.
How many times
that Red Robin?
I do it all the time on the podcast. Like, you clearly...